Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. It's the Mark Goldbridge Premier League preview. Lots to discuss today. We'll be talking about the Xhaka reaction if you've not heard about that. A blow for Klopp and a big weekend for United and many other Premier League sides as the Premier League table starts to make sense. But let's start off with Xhaka. Took off at the weekend. Where do you stand on this? Taken off at the weekend. Captain of the club. Swearing, not very happy. He's come out a few days later. He says, I've took my time to react to this, but the reality is last Sunday I reached boiling point. I've taken a lot of abuse. We all want what's best for Arsenal, but I've had people attacking my wife, my same about my kid and cancer. Is it the sympathy vote? Is it a reality vote? How does it make Arsenal fans look bad? Are Arsenal fans right? The reality is, personally, as an outsider looking in, it's Arsenal's problem and I'm not going to step on their toes. It's their club. They're going to be far more passionate than I am. But I see both sides. But what I would say is, this is an entertainment industry. I was watching Question Time last night, getting into politics for the first time in years, and I saw a lot of people going on about how the women MPs get a lot of social media abuse and trolling. It's one of the worst jobs in the world. And I thought, you know what? I worked in policing for 10 years, and some of the women PCs, what they get when they're bringing people into custody, being called all sorts of names, I would argue it's probably not as bad when you're getting trolled on social media, when you get actually somebody in your face calling you slut and this, that and the other, and a lot worse. But it's unacceptable. And it's unacceptable when Xhaka is getting people having a go at his wife and threatening, saying horrible things about his kids. It's unacceptable. But it is modern society and it's across the society. And I think if you are in the public eye and you are in the entertainment business and you are the captain of a football club, you need to be able to resolve those issues and deal with those issues far better than that. I think he let himself down last Sunday. I would say, as an Arsenal fan, I would be willing to, readdress this, see how Xhaka responds. Everybody deserves a second chance, and I would hope that Xhaka gives the Arsenal fans a second chance, which is what he's going to do there. But the reality is, some Arsenal fans are still very upset about it, say he shouldn't be captain anyway, and feel that what he's coming out with is just, excuses a few days after the event. Some are like, look, let's come together, let's see what happens. I don't know, it's going to be very interesting to see, but you know what? Life is politics. Spin is spin. You can turn a negative into a positive. I've seen it so many times where, even in the social media world, somebody does something ridiculous and the people will say they're finished. And I'll always say they're not. There'll always be a spin that they can get this back. And we've seen it time and time again with celebrities. They get caught doing something stupid, like sniffing something or whatever. 2 weeks later, they're sat on the sofa with Philip and Fern on This Morning, sobbing their heart out, saying something happened to me when I was younger. And they get that second chance. And I think everyone deserves a second chance. So that's interesting. Get your comments in below on that. Klopp blow. Well, look, Liverpool beat Arsenal midweek in the Carabao Cup. They now play. Actually, I just want to bring something in here before we talk about the Klopp thing. Let me just show you this. This is very interesting as a debate point as well.
Maybe if you dive in the penalty area to try and con a penalty, could that be a red card offence? Maybe if you dive in the penalty area to try and con a penalty, could that be a red card offence?
So, should divers see red cards? Links in the video description for that. Get over to that debate. It's all about debate today. What's your thoughts on that? I've left my comments on there about whether, if you are in the box, you do dive, should you be getting a red card straight away? This would affect certain players. We've all got flair players. Some would say not fair players. What's your thoughts on that? Click the link in the video description. Is that not what VAR is there for? If a player dives, you check it, they get a yellow card. Is that sufficient that you don't concede a penalty? I think VAR has to go hand in hand if you're going to start giving out red cards for diving. But what is your thoughts on it? Check out the link in the video description. Very good debate, and it's open to everybody, much like this channel. But let's go to Klopp's blow. They beat Arsenal midweek in the Carabao Cup. They need to move that fixture of the quarter-final. I think they're playing... Are they playing Villa or something like that? Or maybe... I think they're playing Villa. They need to move it because they're playing in this World Champions Cup because they won the Champions League. Klopp saying we won't play that fixture. There's not really an opportunity to get that fixture in. Is it unfair on Liverpool? That's my point to you. I think it is. I think it is unfair on Liverpool because, yes, they played a lot of their kids and reserves on Wednesday, but they don't have to do that. It's a quarter-final. It's a potential bit of silverware. I know Liverpool fans will say sod it because they're so good at the moment, but the reality is it not unfair on Liverpool that their success means that they're now being sort of threatened to play a game that actually is going to be low down on their priority. Surely there's some way that they can play it. I mean, Klopp joked about it can't be Christmas Day at 3 a.m, but the reality is, surely there's somewhere, but the reality is that the fixture list is so full these days with weekend and midweek games, it's almost impossible to fit it in. And you'd have a scenario where it gets put back till after the semi-finals, which then causes mayhem. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. People talking about the T-shirts. We're not live, but if you're asking about the T-shirt, links in the video description. These are the United Stand T-shirts. You can get hold of one of these. But let's talk about the weekend ahead. And United open up the Premier League weekend with an away fixture with Bournemouth. Now, where do you stand on this? Both teams have 13 points. Both teams are mid-table. United above Bournemouth because of a slightly better goal difference. I mean, Man United are still living off that opening day 4-0 because that 4 goal has really put them, whoever they're level with on points, it always puts them above them. So United are in 7th. Bournemouth are in 9th. Not scored in October, apparently, Bournemouth. Can November be better for them? I think I'm going to go with United winning this. I think United have got momentum. And I think Bournemouth do lack a cutting edge and United are good defensively. So I think as long as United can score a couple of goals, they'll win this game. That's how I feel about it. I don't know what you think, but that will be on the United Stand live watch along tomorrow, lunchtime, Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. We'll jump to Sunday for a moment because our watch along on this channel, we always do a watch along each weekend, is going to be Everton against Spurs. This is a very big game. Marco Silva, I feel, is probably staring down the barrel of the sack. And I think that with regards to Spurs, I don't think they will sack Pochettino. But the reality is, when I look at the league table, if Tottenham were to lose this game, Everton would go above them. Tottenham on 12 points, Southampton third from bottom and 8th. So Tottenham cannot drop into the bottom 3. But if they were to lose, which I think they will be right down. Probably they could be as low as 16th, even 17th, come Sunday night. So massive game for Spurs. If Everton lose, I think Marco Silva's gone. They will probably be in the bottom 3 if they lose. So massive, massive game. But I think Everton will win it. I think I did the Paddy Power FIFA predicts, actually. You can check that on my Twitter feed on how this game will go. And I said before it, I think Spurs are the jelly babies of the North. They are like Arsenal. They go up north and they lose their spine. And Toffee men, Everton, I think they'll be too tough. I think they'll pull out a few fillings in the Spurs season, so to speak. So I'm going to go Everton to win that 2-1. But I think if Everton lose that, it will be Marco Silva gone. And I know there are some Everton fans that would not have a problem with that. Looking at the weekend fixtures on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoffs. You've got Arsenal against Wolves. Tough game for Arsenal, that. Again, there is a situation there whereby if Arsenal were to lose, Wolves would leapfrog Arsenal. No, they wouldn't. Arsenal are on 16 points. Wolves are on 12 points. Arsenal need to win that game. They really, really do. Because if they were to lose it or draw it, they will end up dropping down the table. I expect Arsenal to bounce back. I think Arsenal will bounce back. It's the perfect game. You need to be at home. So I think Arsenal will win that 2-0. Villa against Liverpool at 3 o'clock. Another big game. But again, I just don't think Villa have got the quality to stop Liverpool. So I'm going to go Liverpool to win that 3-1. We've spoken about Liverpool. Very, very good team at the moment. They've got 2 midfields, and I just don't think Villa will have the firepower. I think they'll have the effort, but I don't think they'll have the firepower to score against Liverpool. So I can see Liverpool keeping a clean sheet in that as well. Brighton against Norwich. 2 teams that I think will be fighting relegation. Big, big game. Norwich, awful at the back. Brighton have surprised me. They can pull results out. So I think I'm going to go Brighton to win that 2-0 against Norwich. Man City, Southampton at home, another 3 o'clock kickoff. Straightforward win, 3-0 to City, I think. Southampton, again, a team that's looking, they got beat 9-0. You know what? If I was Man City, I would be thinking, can we get 10? I know that sounds horrible, but this is... when you've been beaten 9-0 and somebody's equalled the all-time Premier League goal-scoring record, the last thing you want to do is go and play Man City at the Etihad. So if I was Southampton, I would go there and park as many buses as I could and say, if we get a 0-0, that's Christmas. So I think that this will be 3-0 to City, because I think Southampton will park the bus, but it'll be a straightforward 3 points for City. Sheffield United, Burnley, also a 3 o'clock kickoff. I'm going to go, very similar teams there. Grinders, really. They grind out results. Burnley, well beaten by Chelsea last week. Sheffield United on a good run. I can see the experience of Burnley outdoing Sheffield United, although I think the safe money's probably on a draw. But I'm going to go 1-2 to Burnley. West Ham, Newcastle, again, I think West Ham will bounce back with a win here. and maintain their strong start to the season. And I think a top half finish for West Ham is a strong season for them. And I don't know what their fans think, but I think it is. You know, you're not going to be top 6. You're not going to be top 8. But if you can get 9th or 10th, that's a good season for West Ham. So I think West Ham will beat Newcastle. I think it'll be 2-0. And Watford-Chelsea's the 5:30 kick-off. Watford can't buy a win at the moment. I think they've got 5 draws. They've been very unlucky in some games. Definitely unlucky against Spurs a couple of weeks ago. But Chelsea are playing really, really well. And Watford defensively are not great. So I do think that this could be another loss for Watford, who, to be fair, since they've made the change, I think they've deserved a couple of wins. But they won't get one against Chelsea. And then, obviously, we've spoken about Everton Spurs on Sunday. But there is Crystal Palace against Leicester. This is a big, big game for Leicester again. I think they've done very, very well. Leicester finishing in the top 4, and they're in that top 4 position at the moment with 20 points. Leicester finishing in top 4 is about what they do against the teams outside of the top 6. And I've said this every week so far. They've beaten Burnley. They've smashed Southampton. If they beat Palace away, Leicester have got a great chance of being in the top 4 this season. It's a very exciting time for Leicester. They've got no European football. They have 1 game a week. Brendan Rodgers is used to that. I think he did it with Liverpool a few years ago and they nearly won the league. So he knows how to build a team week to week. He's doing what he did under Liverpool as well, smashing teams in the first 20 minutes, getting at them. So I expect Leicester to beat Palace, but Palace are playing very well as well. Good point against Arsenal last week. They're high up. They won at Old Trafford as well. They're having a good season. Hodgson's got them well organised. So even a point for Leicester would be good. I expect Leicester to go and win 3-1, which is a vindication of how good I think Leicester are at the moment. I think they're doing very, very, very well indeed. But get your comments in below. How do you feel about Xhaka? What do you think about the Liverpool situation? Check out the video on the red card for diving. Links in the video description with 888 Sport for that. Go and check out my comments and have yours as well. And the weekend fixtures, how are you feeling about that? We'll be back with the watch along on Sunday afternoon, which is going to be Everton against Spurs. I think it's been a really good autumnal game. Looking forward to that one. It's the pick of the weekend. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Please share the video as well, because we're getting really close to 100,000 subscribers. And it's going to be great to hit that on the channel. And if you want to get one of these beauties, links in the video description as well. Thanks for watching.